The Fantasy Skirmisher.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Fantasy Skirmisher. Today we're going to take a look at the brand new Orc Infantry by North Star Games for the Oathmark Battles of the Lost Age game. These are 28mm hard plastic miniatures, and there's 30 multi-part pieces that go to this. So after we take a look at these, I'm going to put a couple of these together, as well as take a look at the white metal ones that I got, which include Orc King, Wizard Drummer, and Orc Champions. Then we're going to compare these orcs to the Oathmark goblins that I have, just to see how they compare in size. And also we're going to compare these against a couple of orcs that I have from Games Workshop and from Mantic. Reading the flavor text: large, burly, and aggressive orc infantry charging into the fray are a fearsome sight, and any seasoned commander will have learned to respect their combat prowess. They are, however, somewhat unreliable, often hurling themselves at the nearest enemy rather than holding the line. So let's see how big and burly these guys are compared to some humans and my goblins. All right, opening these up here. So each sprue has 5 bodies, along with a big assortment of arms with different weapons. So you could build archers. I got different shield shapes, lots of different head styles, swords, and it looks like we got a standard bearer here as well. They also have some spears, and looks like, well, that's a one-handed, not a two-handed weapon. All right, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. And in addition, you get the square bases, which they use for Oathmark. However, I don't care for square bases, and I plan to use round ones. So I do have a supply of these, which I've been basing my goblins on. And I also got platforms, so you can see one of my goblins here, where they just slot in nicely, so you don't have to worry about square bases if you're using the trays here. Now let's take a look at the metal champions here. We've got champion for the archer units, for the spearmen, and also for the infantry. And this infantry champion looks a bit shorter than the other orcs in the set here. And then moving on to the command orcs, and we've got the Orc King, and we've got the drummer, and we've got this Orc Wizard. But one thing I noticed about it is the base, as you can see here, is really tweaked. So it's a bit wobbly, so I'm going to have to be careful when I base it, and maybe base it a little higher like this so it's upright, and then just put some green stuff underneath. But other than that, these models look great. And so now let's take a look at the plastic ones and see how they compare to these and the other orcs that I have. So here we have a Games Workshop orc from the Warhammer Underworld Shadespire game. And this one is from Mantic, which is from my Dungeon Saga game, one of the expansions, and I'll be covering that in a future episode. Then we have the Goblin King from the new set. And here we have a Frostgrave soldier from North Star. And you can see that the orc is just a little bit bigger. So yes, he is a little bit more brutish, as he should be. And I want to assume that the Frostgrave soldier is the same size as the Oathmark humans. So, but comparing it against another North Star model for Rangers from Shadowdeep, you can see that my Ranger here is a bit larger than the plastic orc, and about the same size as the Orc King. But what I was really interested in, because it was hard to tell from any pictures I saw on Facebook, was the comparison of the plastic orcs against the plastic goblins for Oathmark. And you can see that the orcs are larger than the goblins, as they should be, at least in my fantasy world. And then finally, another Mantic archer. You can see the difference in size. It's not much. Obviously, this is on a little bit higher base. And then finally, we have a goblin wolf rider from Oathmark. So overall, I'm really happy with these. I think the models are going to look great painted up. The goblins were really fun to paint, and they painted quickly. And my plan is to do 20 soldiers and 10 archers in my 30-box set. And I'll be able to use these for a variety of skirmish games with some new ones I have in the mail. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching the Fantasy Skirmisher. Bye-bye.